Hi there everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Welcome to another video. So before we get started, hi, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Things have turned kind of dicey here in Texas. We opened back up, which I didn't think we should have done, but we did. And people just decided that nothing was happening, and now we're closing back down again because the number of cases has just risen dramatically. So yeah, I've just been staying inside, staying indoors, and just kind of doing what I can to kind of stay sane. So the video today is about why I've made the decision to leave Stampin' Up permanently. So for those of you who've been with me a while, you probably feel like you got whiplash because I joined Stampin' Up either in the fall of 2013 or the fall of 2014. I can't remember. And then in the fall of 2018, my health had gotten to a point where I just felt like I couldn't be consistent with Stampin' Up. I couldn't be consistent with posting. I couldn't be consistent with blogging. I couldn't be consistent with being on Instagram. Like I just didn't have any consistency. And when you do direct sales or multi-level marketing, you really have to be consistent, especially on YouTube too, for the stupid algorithm. You have to be consistent in order to get your views. Views sometimes lead to customers, etc. So I made the decision in fall of 2018, and it was just right after I had been in ICU with DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis, to go ahead and leave. And most people were very, very supportive. I did have a couple of people who were like, I'm not going to watch you anymore. And, you know, that is what it is. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that, you know, that's okay. So I started using other products. I think that Christmas I did, you know, some Doodlebug cards. I started using some different product, and I was, you know, purchasing things, and I just found that I was really struggling because to me, the crafting community as a whole kind of feels like the beauty community, where companies were releasing, you know, every 2 weeks it felt like, and you had, you know, YouTubers like Amy and Kelly and Christina and Jennifer and all these other people who get all this product for free, so they're able to share the newest and the latest and the greatest. And I feel like I fell into this like trap of where I felt like I had to do that in order to put out quality content that people wanted to see. And it just got to be really, really, really overwhelming. So in 2019, last year, I herniated a disc. I had a disc that, what's it called? I broke a disc in my back. I don't know what else it's called. I can't think right now. And I ended up having to have surgery for that. And so I had gotten to the point where I was behind on doing my Simon Says Stamp monthly things, like their craft kits, and I was just really overwhelmed. And I made the decision to go back to Stampin' Up, because the one thing I do like about Stampin' Up is I'm given a catalog, and I can pick and choose from that one catalog what I want. And it's different when you're like on Simon Says Stamp or something and you have thousands of stamp sets and stuff to choose from. So I like that it kind of centered it. And you guys know I love holidays. Christmas is my favorite. Like, Christmas is my happy place. I'm the TheJollyFatElf after all. And the holiday catalog has always been my favorite. And I almost always start my holiday card series like the 1st of September because I'm just so excited to craft for Christmas. And last year it was even more serious for me because I had rejoined, number one, and I was having surgery in October, and I wanted to try my hardest to get enough videos to make it through like New Year's Eve. And of course I didn't do that. I think I stopped posting in mid-November. And unfortunately, I ended up back in the hospital the middle of November because my incision had reopened. And we get to December when the pre-order for the Occasions catalog happened, and I was able to place my pre-order. I did, you know, a couple of things, got a couple of classes together, and then in January, my incision opened right back up. And then so like in February, I was still kind of posting, but then I got sick on top of it. So it was just a lot of health issues that happened. And of course, then, you know, the virus started. And I it was very much a whole kind of pile on kind of feeling. And I already suffer from depression and anxiety. I haven't had real anxiety in a few years, but I started having anxiety, not necessarily panic attacks, but anxiety. I started dreading filming card making videos, and I really had to sit down and try to figure out what was really going on. Like, what was the root of the problem for me? And the root of the problem for me was selling. I mean, I was a direct seller. That's what I did. And when I first left, I had promoted all the way to gold, which was like the 5th level. I had a pretty decent team. I had, I was probably, sales were probably around $1,500, $2,000 a month. I wasn't big. I know a lot of people assume that, but I wasn't. I didn't even make the top 150 ever. So but I was doing okay. And then, like I said, I just kind of had to leave. And then when I restarted, I had a very small customer base, but thank you very much for, taking my classes and those kinds of things. But like I said, I got around to February into March, and it just felt so disingenuous. And that's the thing. I need to find my thesaurus and look up another word for disingenuous, because I think I mentioned that in my last update. But I didn't want to come on YouTube and give you an infomercial. And I felt like if I was using Stampin' Up product, it was an infomercial. And again, I'm not trying to judge anybody. Like, I am lucky that we are in a place financially where I don't have to use Stampin' Up as my main income. And I said in that last video, if Stampin' Up is how you pay your bills, you have to do what you have to do. But for me, someone who was kind of doing the business, but more, I just felt like it wasn't the time. And I also really struggled with wanting to do it. Like I said, I dreaded it. I didn't want to sit down and film. I felt like I'd lost all my mojo. I think I mentioned that in the last video. I was really excited for the annual catalog because I felt like I needed more inspiration. And then the product pre-order came out, and I was just so flippin' disappointed. And I realized that it probably wasn't Stampin' Up's fault, because they had to work around the virus. But what they sent out, it's just not my style. It just wasn't something that really got me excited. I was really concerned about that wood. Like, the pattern in that pattern paper is beautiful, but it's so expensive for paper. And then, I knew those jar shakers were going to sell out. So I ordered, as many as I could. So I bought, I did the product pre-order when it went live. It was probably on a Friday though. I think it went live on a Tuesday and I went live on a Friday. And that was the 1st of May. And I literally did not open that box until this past weekend. I'm filming this on the 27th. This is probably going to go up on Monday. So it literally sat, like, I didn't open it until this past weekend. And I sold it all on Facebook. And so anyway, after the product pre-order, like I said, I just couldn't do it. Like, none of those products really called to me. And I was really excited about the annual catalog at first, because I really think this is one of the best catalogs they've put out in a while. But Rob and I were talking about it, and I kept waffling back and forth. And I finally said, I'm going to sit down. This was the Friday after. So the catalog went live like on the 3rd, and this was like the 5th. And I said, I'm going to sit down with the catalog, and if I can find, 5 stamp sets that I just cannot wait to stamp with and absolutely want to have them and absolutely want to show you guys, then I'll go ahead and stay. Now, there are ones in that catalog that I love. I love the zebras. I think Robin's stamp with the hippo and the rainbow are really good. Like, the animals and stuff in that catalog are really, really good. But it just didn't call to me. Like, it didn't say, hey, Misty, sit down and, create with this so you can sell it. Basically, that's what it is, right? So that's when I decided that my problem isn't with Stampin' Up, it's with the selling. I'm not a salesperson. And, excuse me, let me get a drink. Oh, Lord. So I'm not a salesperson, and that's what I was really struggling with. And there are so many people who, you know, are without a job, who haven't even been able to get unemployment yet, who are really, really struggling like me through all of this. And I don't want you to come on my channel and have an infomercial playing for you. That's really what it boils down to. I have 30 minutes left. So I spent the last week selling everything. I kept my neutrals cardstock, and I kept my brights cardstock because I love it. I think it's really pretty. But I sold all of my ink. I sold all of my markers. I sold all of my stamp sets. I've sold all of my paper. I have one bundle left, and that's the Bonanza Buddies. And if you're interested, I will sell it for $35 and I will ship it to you for free. Like there's a couple things I have left that I'm trying to get out. So I'm free and clear of Stampin' Up because I don't want to use anything other than the paper, like I mentioned, that would direct you to somewhere to buy. And so I don't have any qualms with Stampin' Up as a company. I enjoyed my time with them. I just struggle with the whole multi-level marketing, direct sell kind of whatever you want to call it. I wasn't interested in growing a team. I wasn't interested in selling you guys, and I had two people on my team who were very, very supportive, Barbara and Jennifer, thank you so much. You've always been very supportive to me. And I hated that I felt like I was letting them down, but at the end of the day, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So like I said, I sold all my product pre-order, and then I said, you know what, I'm just going to sell everything. So I've sold everything, like I said, besides Bonanza Buddy, and there's a celebration stamp set. Honestly, if you will buy the Bonanza Buddies for $40, let's say $40, I'll give you everything I have left for free. I just want it. I want it gone. And I've used that money to invest in other products. So I invested in a ton of Copics. Scrapbook Pal had their Chow markers on sale, and I stocked up on as many as I could. And eventually I wanted to have the whole collection. I mean, not that I think I need it, but I'm a whole collection kind of person when it comes to that. I want all of them. I've invested in some things from Hello Bluebird, which I love them so much. Like, they're probably one of the stamp companies that I'm most excited to use some product from. I got some product from Brutus Monroe that I really loved. I've picked some stuff up from My Favorite Things. I've picked some stuff up from Simon Says Stamp, like Hefty Doodle. There are a couple of things that I really wanted, and I've made those investments, and I will be sharing with those with you in a couple of hauls. But going forward, I really want it to be more about the techniques, more about, how to choose colors for crafting, how to put colors together, or how to pick patterns, or more about how to, and us playing with different techniques. I'm not an expert when it comes to Copic. I'm not an expert, coloring, I'm not an expert whatsoever. I don't think I'm going to teach you how to color, but I want to do more coloring. I don't want to feel like I only have to make cards and only use Stampin' Up. I want to try and branch out to other things. And I have a couple of ideas for a couple of series that I think will be really fun going forward. So that's what I really hope to do. So like I said, it's not an issue with Stampin' Up. It's just an issue with me no longer wanting to sell. So with all that being said, the one thing that I've been really struggling with are affiliate links. Now I realize that those are a source of income from a lot of people. And I realize that, sometimes you want links to things, but I just don't know that I want to do them anymore. Like I said, I am blessed to where we are in a position where I don't have to use income from Stampin' Up or YouTube to pay a bill. We were like that for a while. Now it's more like a little bit of extra spending money. And I would rather focus my attention on Patreon. So I've had a Patreon for a couple of years, and I have sucked at keeping up with it. And I want to get better about that. I want to grow my Patreon, and not necessarily for the money, but because I want to have a place where I can interact with you guys on a more personal level, because it's really hard to do that on YouTube. And YouTube also, you know, suppresses, I've basically killed my channel taking all the breaks I have, because you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent for a long time for YouTube to want to share you with others. And I am just at a point physically where I can't always be consistent. I mean, I never know what I'm going to be able to accomplish in a day until I wake up that morning. Like this morning I woke up and I was like, okay, I feel pretty good. Let me put on some makeup so I can film this video and, you know, kill two birds with one stone. And then I'm going to, you know, one thing that I also invested in is a new desk. I'm like most people, my craft room is via IKEA, but the desk I bought, it's the Clip-On or whatever, it's the gray one. I spent like $350 on this desk and it's already starting to fall apart. So I don't mind my table and, you know, the storage that I have from IKEA, but I wanted a big girl desk. I wanted a desk that would last me for a while. And so I purchased that, and that's coming. So I'm going to be redoing my craft room again for the very last time. I promised Rob this will be the very last time. So that's another thing that I've kind of invested in. So I'm moving some of those things around. So that's another thing that I invested in with the D-Stash. I'm looking into getting a new mount, because where I'm going to put my table is going to be against the wall. So I can mount my, you know, camera to the wall. So I'm investing in some more technology things, more lighting, stuff like that. That way I can make more videos. I can also feel more comfortable doing live streams, because maybe I can live stream here, I can live stream on Instagram, I can live stream on YouTube, because I'll have a place where I'll have better lighting. And like I said, I really want to be able to interact with you guys, because for me now, and I mentioned this in the get ready video that I was filming, I don't want it to be about numbers. I don't want to look at my subscriber count. I don't want to see how many people are viewing my videos. I just want to let all that go, and I just want to focus on you guys. I just want to focus on building relationships. I just want to focus on sharing my love of crafting with you guys. I just want to focus on making mistakes and learning from them. I just want it to be about our relationship. And I've made some really great friends. Some of you guys have been with me from the very, very beginning, and I appreciate you so much. And I appreciate those of you who are always watching and always commenting, and even those of you who don't comment. You know, I just appreciate you so much. And so I think Patreon will be a way where we can have that one-on-one interaction separate from YouTube. So I'll do a whole video once I've decided how I'm gonna, you know, do the levels, etc. And what I'm gonna, like, what you're gonna get, basically. If you're unfamiliar with Patreon, it's a website where you can support creators. You know, a lot of people, $1 a month, $5 a month, and some creators go up from there. So anyway, that's kind of where my head is, and that's why I've decided to leave Stampin' Up! Permanently, because I'm just over the selling. As far as new releases and stuff like that, I'm gonna set a monthly budget, and I'm gonna use what I can do. And like, if there is just something that I have to have, I'll get it, but I'm not going to do something where I feel like I have to. Like, I haven't decided if I'm going to resubscribe to Simon Says Stamps kit. I don't know, you know, I'm definitely not doing cherry on top. Their box doesn't interest me, but Tonic, like, I really liked some of their kits that they did when I was watching videos. So, like, I just want to get back to the basics. I don't want, like I said, I don't want to sell. That's what it boils down to. I want to interact. And so yeah, so that's why I've decided to leave Stampin' Up! Permanently. And I already feel like a huge weight is lifted off. I already feel like, you know, I'm ready to get back to crafting. Rob and I are gonna, like I said, we're gonna redo my craft room. I'll film a craft room tour that I've been promising for 102 years. And we'll just go from there. And I'm so flippin' excited, guys, and I hope that you are too. So like I said, I don't want this video to come across as I'm, you know, shading any demonstrators. If you use Stampin' Up! To pay your bills, please know that I completely respect that, and I understand that. I don't have to, and I just don't want to anymore. And I feel better that I've made that decision. Hey guys, it's Misty. I'm editing, and I just want to clarify. I'm not trying to say that I only support people who are selling to make a living. anybody who wants to be a part of direct sales or whatever, you know, you have to make, these are personal choices for you guys. So you have to do what you have to do. And a lot of you, I know, hobby demonstrators are the #1, like that's what Stampin' Up has the most of. So I'm not trying to discount you guys, and I'm not saying that you should quit. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that for me, as a personal decision, I'm ready to let that era, so to speak, of my life go. So I hope I didn't offend anybody. That wasn't what I was striving to do. So I hope to get back to crafting in the next couple of weeks. It'll probably be hit or miss for a little bit because of waiting for the furniture to arrive, having to rearrange everything, you know, buy what I need to buy to make sure I have my camera set up and to mount my lights. It's gonna be a whole thing. So I'm gonna try to post some of the, like I said, some not get readies with the Missy haul videos that I have. And like I said, if you're interested in that Bonanza Buddy, you know, $40 shipped in the US, and you will get 2 extra stamp sets and a couple other things that I have for free because I just want it all gone. So yeah, so if there are any craft companies that you want me to check out, let me know. Like I said, I've bought some things, and I just bought what I wanted. I just bought what was, like I bought the gnome set from My Favorite Things because I think that is adorable. I really want the castle from Lawn Fawn, but of course that sold out in a hot minute. I got a couple of stamps from Hello Bluebird that are more, you know, winter Christmas themed. So I'm just excited and motivated and ready to get back to crafting. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support, for being there with me and for me from the very, very beginning, to understanding that, you know, with this disability, with these 2 diseases, I have myasthenia gravis and rheumatoid arthritis, if you didn't know, and of course the back surgery on top of it. It's been a struggle. I've been struggling with my depression and anxiety, so it's been a real struggle, but crafting and Christmas and everything has always been my happy place, and I'm ready to get back to it. So I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys. Just thank you. Thank you. I don't know what else to say, but thank you. And I hope you stick around, and I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.